afternoon. This is a hearing of the Chatham Conservation Commission being held on April 1st, 2026 in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Chatham Wetlands Protection Bylaw and Regulations. My name is Karen Latin and I serve as the chair. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet device. If anyone is recording the meeting, including the use of AI note-taking apps, please notify the chair. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 28, 2025 signing of Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025 extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until June 30th, 2027, this meeting of the Chatham Conservation Commission is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling the number 1-508-945-4410 with conference ID 857-916-749#. Or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on Chatham TV, Xfinity Channel 1072, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. To all participants, whether attending by phone or online, please remain muted unless you've been recognized by the chair. When recognized, please identify yourself for the record. If you are attending by phone, you can mute and unmute by using *6. If you are online and are not a commissioner, please keep your camera turned off unless you've been recognized. Indicate that you wish to speak by using the raised hand feature. So that we have a record of a quorum, I will now ask each commissioner to indicate their presence. Vice Chair Paul Johnson.
Present.
Janet Williams.
Present.
Elise Gordon.
Present.
Eric Hilbert is not here. Bob Del Vecchio.
Present.
And I am here, so we've established we have a quorum. Is there anyone who would like to make any announcements, comments, or future agenda items for anything other than the properties on the agenda today? You may comment on those when the property is being heard. I am not seeing anybody online or here, so we'll continue. Before we begin the agenda, Bradford, are there any announcements about any requests for continuances today?
Yes, there's a request for continuance for 42 Old Harbor Lane and a request for continuance for 357 Stony Hill Road.
Great, thank you. At this point, Bradford Bauer, Chatham's Conservation Assistant Agent, will now lead us through the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Up first is an order of conditions for 72 Sea Mist Lane, Bona Fortuna LLC, map 1A, parcel K, SE 10-3767. This project is for proposed construction of a swimming pool and patio within the buffer zone to a coastal bank. This is continued from March 11th, 2026.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
Clark, for the record, everybody involved read the order and nobody has any issues.
Wonderful. That's a good, is that an April Fool's joke? All right. Does anybody here, any commissioners, have anything to add or modify? Okay, then we can go to a motion, please.
I move that we close the hearing on 72 Sea Mist Lane and approve the order of conditions as written.
We need somebody to second.
A second.
All right, Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Thank you. Okay, the next, please, Bradford.
Next is an order of conditions for 10 Meadowview Road, Kevin and Stephanie Sarney, map 9D, parcel S1, SE 10-3770. This was for construction of an addition within the buffer zone to a coastal bank. This was also continued from March 11th, 2026.
David Clark, for the record, no issues with that one either.
Oh, this is definitely a joke. No. Okay, anybody, any commissioners, anything to add or modify?
I move that we close the hearing on 10 Meadowview Road and approve the order of conditions as written.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, the next, Bradford, please.
Next is an order of conditions for 0 Eastward Road, Chatham Conservation Foundation, map 13M, parcel 21A-C42, SE 10-3764. This was for invasive species management and native plant restoration within the 100-foot buffer to a salt marsh and coastal bank. This was also continued from March 11th, 2026.
Thank you. Is there anybody here for this one?
I am. I'm Lindsay Cook from Parterre Ecological.
Hi, Lindsay. Did you
Hi. We
read
just-
the order?
I did, and we just have 2 small changes that we are going to request.
Okay.
So in special condition 6, it says no activity shall take place between April 1 and November 1. We want to change that language so that it says no vegetation clearing, because we will be going in for repeat treatments during that growing season after the initial removal, just to clarify that we can work on the site in that window, just no large clearing will take place. The other change is that in the standard.
Well, let's deal with that one first.
Okay.
Usually, this is pretty much a normal condition. How do the commissioners feel about it? Bob?
What kind of activity will you be performing?
Well, so it says no activity, like no activity at all. But if you look in the standard conditions, it does say that we need to provide maintenance throughout the growing season to ensure that the invasive species don't come back in. So it's just slightly contradictory.
Well, what kind of activity?
So once we did the initial removal, we would be going back in to cut and wipe anything that any resprouts that came back.
I think that's probably okay. This is
Yeah.
designed to protect nesting species and
Yeah.
things like that through the growing season. But if they've already cut and they're just going in to remove anything that's coming back, I think,
Maybe we can modify that to say that what's allowed between April 1. Yeah, no activity other than.
yeah, continued
Maintenance.
of TENANC of invasive species.
Yeah.
So now it will say no activity other than the continued maintenance of invasive species on the site shall take place between April 1 and November 1.
Yeah, I got that.
Yes, except the other change we were hoping to make is to make it April 1 to September 1. Because it appears in the standard conditions that September 1 is the norm. And you do have in the standard condition B6, it states that the disturbed areas have to be seeded by November 1st. But if we can't get in there to do the initial removal until November 1st, that doesn't allow for the seeding. So if we could change it, I understand that the April 1st and September 1st is to ensure that we don't have any nesting birds, but I think by September 1st, we have cleared that. So November 1st is probably a little excessive. So if we could change that to April 1st to September 1st, then we can get in there, do the initial removal, and have that seeded to meet the requirement in the standard conditions.
So you're wanting to do the initial removal after September 1st, because we're on April 1st today, so.
Yes, exactly.
I thought it always was November 1st.
It's in the standard conditions, it mentions September 1st a couple times.
Yeah,
Right, well, but usually, our special conditions usually go to November 1st, and special conditions usurp general conditions. So I'd like to hear what the commissioners, any opinion? Or can we say okay?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. So then why don't we make a new special condition that says that the removal, invasive removal may take place after September 1st, or may not take place between April 1 and September 1. Maybe that's better.
That works on our end. Thank you very much.
Well, wait, we haven't done it yet, so.
Okay.
No, it's still November 1 for the maintenance. It's I think we have to have a second sentence or a different condition that says, yeah. That invasive removal may not take place between April 1 and September 1. I thought I fixed it. I didn't. Not quite. All right, anything else?
That's it on our end. Thank you.
Okay, commissioners, anything else?
Just have one small thing. On finding 7, it says no tree shall be removed. I just want to add no live or dead trees shall be removed.
That's a good one. I thought I covered it with no trees, but I think your way you've said is much better. Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, then we can have a motion.
I move that we close the hearing on 0 Eastwood Road and approve the order of conditions as modified.
Second.
Elise? Aye. Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, Brad, for the next, please.
Next up is a request to amend an order of conditions for 189 Moonpenny Lane. Francis and Christine Fabrizio, I apologize about the last name. Map 10H, Parcel 6, SE 10-3713. This is for Title 5 subsurface sewage disposal system within land subject to coastal storm flowage. The amendment is to expand the mitigation area to include invasive species management. This would be phase 1.
Thank you. Hi, Katrine.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So we're requesting an amendment to expand the mitigation area to include approximately 3,000 square feet of knotweed, which is within the naturalized area to the east of the existing house. And if you want, I can just kind of go over what we're proposing.
Sure.
If that's okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, as you know, knotweed is a state-listed invasive species that displaces the native vegetation. It's already evident in this area that that's what it's doing. So really only there's an eastern red cedar that's growing within the area, but other than that, it's just 100% invasive knotweed. And so without intervention, the knotweed will continue to spread into the adjacent areas. So this is a perfect time to address this. We're proposing a management approach combining mowing and treated foliar applications as we detail on our restoration plan. The initial mowing is proposed prior to June. And if this project is approved by you, we will conduct a bird sweep beforehand to ensure no active nesting is present. This is, like I mentioned, it's just dead stalks of knotweed in this area, so it's very unlikely that birds are nesting within there, but it's an important precaution to take nonetheless. And then following that initial mowing, new knotweed growth will emerge, and we would like to treat that low-growing, short knotweed stalks in June, followed by, if we need it, to a second mowing in July. We might not need a second mowing in July, and then additional spot treatments later in the season would be performed as needed. So this phased approach is designed to continually weaken the knotweed throughout the growing season and reduce its vigor over time. Once the knotweed is effectively controlled, we would like to restore the area through a planting of American beach grass. And in addition to that, on the original plan by Clark, they're showing serviceberry to be planted in this area as well. So overall, the successful management of this knotweed infestation will significantly enhance the resource area. It will get rid of a horrible plant. Just to be frank, it is a horrible plant, and it will provide ecological uplift through improved wildlife habitat and increased stormwater function for the property. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. I do like that you have added this in. I'm excited that even more invasives are being dealt with. I'll
Yep.
open it to commissioners. Any questions, comments?
I'll ask, first of all, Katrine, how long has it taken you to read all those books behind you?
I'm at the Bartlett Arboretum in Connecticut for a few
Are you?
days, and I'm in this little awesome library. I just want to sit here and read all these books, but I can't.
Okay. All right, the next question is, so that area where the septic system is, that's beach grass?
Right.
Has that been planted yet?
I believe it needs to be replanted. It had been, there's some beach grass in there. I think maybe the storm impacted some of it, but it will be replanted. And the whole idea is to have our knotweed area kind of just be planted with that same beach grass. So it's a continuous area of beach grass.
Yeah. And what about the cedar that's there? You mentioned it's pretty sick looking. I mean, there's not much left of it. Are you going to prune that, or is there any way you can kind of help it in any way?
Yeah, there's treatments we can provide for it. I could add that to the plan if that was of interest.
And then that whole area has been sheared, all the honeysuckle and so forth has been sheared low, probably for a view, as well as a couple of red cedars on the right-hand side closer to the house have been topped. Do you know anything about
Okay.
those areas?
No, I don't. I can look into that. I believe the honeysuckle is off the property
Uh-huh,
because there's a property line right there, but I
Oh,
can
is
look
there?
into that more.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
sure.
Anything else? Janet? No? Elise? Paul?
It's good.
It's,
Good plan.
as I said, I'm just happy to see that you're adding in some more restoration and invasive
I do have one quick question.
Go ahead.
So, Katrina, I noticed it says that knotweed outside the project area and even outside the property line will also be removed if it's a contiguous to where you're working. Is there a
But
lot
we're
of that?
anticipating, we're anticipating that within the septic area, because it was just recently
Disturbed, yeah.
disturbed, that the knotweed's gonna pop up in there. So that's really what that note was for.
Okay.
There is knotweed out of jurisdiction on this property that we have already started treating. We started treating it last fall.
Okay.
We're just kind of pointing out that knotweed is gonna be gone from this entire property.
I think
when
we'd
we're
like to
done with
put
this
in a
project.
continuing condition in this that would enable you to continue monitoring for knotweed reemergence.
That'd be great.
Perpetually.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Okay.
which we'll get to in phase 2.
Yeah, this is phase 1.
Yeah.
Oops.
Okay, then I think we can have a motion to approve this phase.
I move that we approve the amended order of conditions, Phase 1 on 189 Moonpenny Lane as modified.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next one, Bradford, please.
Next up is a notice of intent for 19 Cowyard Lane, Leslie and John Nicholson, map 16H, parcel 12-6A, SC, I don't have the full SC number, I apologize. This is for an ecological restoration project. It is a new application.
Hello.
Good afternoon. For the record, Thad Aldridge, East Southeast. The SE number is 10-3771. The Natural Heritage and Endangered Species Program received the application on March 11th, and while we expect them to like it, we don't have their approval yet.
Right.
So we're really here preliminarily or for our first meeting. Katrine is online to be able to go through all of the good stuff that she does, and I'm here for any questions that you may have.
Okay. Katrine, do you want to say anything or wait for us?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Of course, I'm happy to kind of go through our project. So our work focuses on about 11,600 square feet of this property. And you can see on our plan, on our restoration plan, primarily that's along the southern property line adjacent to Cowyard Lane within the naturalized area. And our goal is to remove the invasive and non-native plant species and restore the area with native vegetation suited to the site's conditions. So if you went out and saw the project area currently, the area is dominated by invasive and non-native species. There's porcelainberry, autumn olive, shrub and vine honeysuckle, Asiatic bittersweet, garlic mustard, and some Japanese knotweed. While there's some shrubs present, there's a few arrowwood viburnum within that main project area and along Cowyard Lane. Many of these native shrubs are already in decline due to the pressure of the invasive vines. And then in kind of contrast, there are intact native plant communities on either side of the main project area. On the western side and still within our project area, there's a healthy stand of native species, including viburnum, eastern red cedar, red maple, winterberry, and inkberry. And then on the eastern edge, closer to the beach, adjacent to the coastal beach, there's native species such as beach plum and American beachgrass, and they're very well established there. So we're proposing to remove the invasive and non-native vegetation primarily by hand and supplemented with low-impact equipment where we have the access, where we're able to use the equipment. Immediately following the removal, the area will be seeded with native seed mix that we're showing on the plan, and that's all in order to stabilize the soils immediately and initiate the revegetation. In addition, American beachgrass will be planted in the designated areas in light green shown on our plan. And that's really to extend that existing beachgrass community that I mentioned into our project area. And then beyond the primary restoration area, we're proposing targeted invasive species management in two other locations on the northern side of the property. First, there's early stage infestations of porcelainberry and bittersweet on the coastal bank just above the revetment, and we'd like to treat those to prevent the further spread and protect the native grasses and forbs that are growing within there. And any resulting bare areas from this work will be replanted with beach grass there. And then secondly, along the northern property line, there's an existing privacy hedge that has bittersweet and porcelainberry just very happily growing up through the hedge. So we'd like to eliminate those, treat those, and get them out of the hedge so that we're eliminating even more porcelainberry and bittersweet from the property. Following the invasive species control, the main project area will be planted with a diverse mix of native shrubs and herbaceous species, as we show on our plan. We're proposing shrubs such as black chokeberry, bayberry, beach plum, Carolina rose, fothergilla, and winterberry. And then a strong emphasis has been placed on pollinator supporting species with plantings such as anise hyssop, blue false indigo, Joe pie weed, bee balm, lupine, white beard tongue, and others listed on our plan. So these are species that will provide nectar, pollen, and habitat throughout the growing season consistently from early spring through late fall for pollinators. So overall, as I mentioned, this restoration effort is spanning over 11,600 square feet. It will significantly enhance habitat value by replacing low-quality invasive vegetation with a structurally diverse native plant community, really to create a thick wildlife corridor. We're talking about now there'll be a native wildlife corridor from the east over to the west of this property. And in addition to the ecological benefits, the project will improve stormwater management. The native plants, as you know, with the deep, extensive root systems will enhance the stormwater infiltration and reduce the runoff on the site. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Okay, does anybody want to start with the questions?
Can I jump in with one awful thing?
Yes.
The bees love the knotweed pollen.
Yes, they
It's
do.
the worst
Yeah.
pollen out there.
But they
Maybe-
swarm, they just, yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
know.
at least there's one benefit, but it's awful stuff.
So that means you should
Takes
be
over.
planting lots of pollinator attracting
Which,
species to
which is
keep them
what I
happy.
like about this, is the variety of things that are going in.
Yep. It's very
So-
good. This is a wonderful project.
Does anybody?
I have a couple of just specific
good.
questions. So Katrine, I'm wondering, I see the repeated reference to invasive and non-native species that are being removed. What non-native but not invasive species are you targeting?
There's species such as, there's more some of the herbaceous species that really kind of take over.
I'm just wondering whether I'm just making sure that there's not things that do actually provide some sorts of benefits that, like poison ivy or
No,
greenbrier and things like that, that people don't like but provide benefits, and that doesn't get swept up in this.
it would be species that aren't listed, state-listed invasive species, but they are non-native. Poison ivy and greenbrier are both native, so we wouldn't be treating anything
Okay,
like
so
that.
it's just, okay. I always think about it in terms of a continuum of stuff that starts off as the invasive that you always want to get rid of, and then pure natives that you want to keep, but in between, there's a whole lot that
Right.
may provide something,
Right.
but okay. You also mentioned root grappling of some of these, so what determines when the roots will be left in place and when they will be grappled?
Oh, so that's more of a standard note. We wouldn't be mechanically root grappling anything here.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay. I have two questions for Thad. So Thad, on your delineations here, so it's a funny shape, the funny of a coastal bank top. It comes around and sort of makes a little rectangular shape and then continues on its way. And that largely follows the contour for the A-zone, is that?
Yes, so looking at it, we have a V-zone out here, an A-zone behind it. It jumps up to the first observable break on the north side of the property. It's right at the top of the revetment.
Yeah, right.
Landward of
Yep.
the revetment for most of it. Coming down around, we do have, the floodplain, A-zone in this
Right.
case. And that does exceed the 10-to-1 slope. Across the driveway, it's flatter than 10-to-1, but then on the other side, it does pick up to greater than 10-to-1, less than 4-to-1. So we've delineated
So it
out-
continues right across the driveway and onward,
It's broken by the driveway, but we have a coastal bank on
either side of it?
it.
Yeah, okay, I see that
So
break
the
there.
buffer does make up for that break.
Okay. All right, that explains its shape. So that means then that this whole project area is in the A zone and about half of it's in a V zone.
Yes.
So is there any concerns about putting American beach grass in a velocity zone?
That's where it likes to be.
It does? I thought it liked being further up than that.
Well, when you go out to any beach, all of the dunes, your primary frontal dune, which should be
Right.
covered with beach grass, that is automatically a velocity zone.
All the way up? I thought it stopped toward the bottom.
The velocity zone? There are 5 flavors of velocity zone, and one of those is the primary frontal dune.
Right, okay.
And they just presume that that's going to get wiped out during the storm, and they make it velocity zone right away.
And that's what, and they plant beach grass to hold it so that when the inevitable happens, it doesn't take the whole dune away with it,
The
if you're
hope
lucky.
is that the beach grass roots, which they do get long, and
Yeah, they definitely,
And beach grass will recover. It can, windblown sand on top of it up to about a meter in depth, the grass can still grow through it.
Yeah, we were hearing that yesterday, about 6 inches, but you're saying up
Yes.
to a foot. It can still.
I would say if, I've seen a foot and
Okay.
beach grass come back. I had read somewhere that it was closer to a meter that it could bounce back from. But if it's loose, if it's compacted, then it's going to have issue.
Okay, and so none of these other, this is going back to Katrine, none of these other proposed shrubs and plants that are going into the velocity zone are concerning about their ability to survive in that location?
I don't believe so. I mean, you never know if a tremendous storm comes in right after we've planted, God forbid, but, you know, the way that the contours work on this property right in here, there's a nice, you know, it mounds up and then kind of dips down, and
There's
so
a
that'll
channel
be
into a
protected.
natural, where the road is, which is why the road is always so torn up.
Right, so they'll be protected kind of down there.
Okay, and they in turn will protect whatever's upland from there.
Right.
Okay, thank you both.
And I can say there's a 99% chance that everything is fine.
Right,
Of that
exactly.
1%.
You never know, but
You never do
exactly.
know. Thank you.
All right. So it doesn't sound like we have any issues with what's been presented. So we do need to get the National Heritage Letter. So that, they get 30 days. So our next one after that would be April, whoops, where's my thing? April 22nd. How's that for an order?
I think that would be fine.
Katrina, is that okay?
Works perfectly.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
I got a couple of questions. Between the lawn and this area on the south here, is there going to be any demarcation, any edging or anything like that to protect the area?
We didn't talk to the applicant about that.
Okay. Could you maybe ask a question, maybe?
Yeah, and come back with something for the 22nd.
Well, if you could get it to us before that, and then we'll
Right,
have the
right.
order ready, but if then we have concerns, we'll deal with it at that time.
Okay.
And same, Katrine, on the area to the northeast, that little area, the planting area by the lawn.
Yeah.
Maybe you can ask them about edging up in that area too.
And what was, that's what I thought you were talking about first. What was this initial area you mentioned?
To the south, the large area between the lawn and the,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's being highlighted now.
Yeah,
And if I may, to the north, it drops precipitously. So
Yeah.
the lawn is there and then it's,
yeah,
I would
It's-
not want to take a lawnmower down that.
right.
you're not in.
Maybe just on that top edge, maybe,
Okay,
just for protection.
sure.
And then the vines in that privet hedge on the north end, that's going to be hard to do, isn't it? To treat those?
It'll take some time, but I think it's doable for sure. I mean, they're pretty, they've been there for a while, so they're noticeable in the summer, especially.
So you're
So
gonna
I
have to be,
think-
you're
I
gonna have
think
to
we
be
can-
persistent then, huh?
Yep.
Okay. And then the area that you said had all the natives,
The gray
the-
area?
south,
Yeah.
let's see, southwest side, yeah, the gray area. Was that a mitigation area in the past, do you think?
I do not know. I would think a mitigation area would be closer to to the beach area. It looked like some of those just, like there's winterberry growing in there on its own. Some of the plants might have been planted along the parking area at some point. There's
Okay, all right.
inkberry, I believe, there. but-
Just curious, that's all. But it is full
Yeah.
of natives. It's kind of strange
It
the way
is.
it's all together like that.
And there are a
Right.
few open orders that we're working on closing out, so if it is a mitigation area, we'll be able to identify that.
Okay, great.
And we included it in our project area because there is some bittersweet and so we'd like to just treat the bad stuff in there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
When will you be
Thank you.
probably closing those? Soon?
Yes, we're working on those.
I figured,
a
but I thought I'd ask
dance
since
back
you
and
mentioned it.
forth, and-
Okay. Does everybody, I mean, is the 22nd okay for an order? And if we, hopefully we'll have the demarcation and some edging put into the plan. And if you could get that plan, preferably be like by the Friday before,
Sure.
whatever that date is. I don't even know. Maybe
Yep.
18th, 17th, 18th, whatever. All right, so if we could have a motion to send this to an order for the 22nd.
I move that we continue 19 Cow Yard Lane to the meeting on April 22nd, 2026 for an order of conditions.
Second.
Elise? Aye. Janet? Aye. Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Bradford next, please.
Up next is a notice of intent for 42 Old Harbor Lane, Peter Harris, map 16I, parcel 20-MD2, SE 10-3768. This is for a raise and reconstruction of a guest house with patio and stairs, and connecting to the existing septic system. They have asked for a continuance to April 22nd.
I move that we continue 42 Old Harbor Lane to the meeting on April 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Elise? Aye. Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Next, please.
Alrighty. Next is a notice of intent for 101 Uncle Dean's Road, Donald and Elise Sherman, DES Living Trust, map 4D, parcel 14-810, SE 10-3760. This is for the project proposes to remodel and expand the existing dwelling at the property. Project includes the reconstruction of the existing deck and several small additions to the footprint. Project includes substantial vegetation management program for invasive plant species on the bank and 50-foot buffer. This was continued from January 14th, 2026.
How are you?
I'm well. Good afternoon. John O'Reilly, representing the Schuerman. I believe Mrs. Schuerman is on the line. And with me is Teresa Sprague from Blue Flax, who's here to answer any questions you may have. We were last here when we actually had snow on the ground back in January. You asked us to take a look at the amount of structure we were proposing within the 50-foot buffer, as well as take a look at the 50 to 100-foot buffer issues, which the applicant has done, and I think we've made some great strides on the project. The proposed screen porch, which is the largest addition being proposed, is reduced in size from the original proposal. The associated deck, along with the connecting deck, have been reduced in size, and that is significant to the 50-foot buffer. The former patio that was shown just north of the screen porch adjacent to the house is now a deck. We've also pulled the limit of work line in along the easterly property line. We've reduced some grading, and we're able to pull that limit of work line in, which allowed Blue Flax to include keeping a lot of those trees along that eastern line. As far as our coverages is concerned, from the original proposal, we have just about a 360 square foot swing on hardscape. So instead of proposing 194 increase, we are now showing 162 decrease in the 50 foot. And we are showing a reduction from the original proposal in the 50 to 100 foot of about 134 square feet. The premise of the project stays the same. The house is going to be reconstructed on the existing foundation with several small additions. And I think we've tried to address most, if not all, comments made by the commission. So I'd be happy to stop there and answer any questions.
Thank you. Teresa, do you want to say anything? Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Teresa. complex design. Just to add on to John's comments, the reductions that John discussed allowed us to increase the restoration area by 1,234 square feet and allowed us to reduce the number of trees being removed by 11. So previously, there were 19 native and 2 non-native trees proposed for removal. Currently, there are 7 trees and 1 non-native tree proposed for removal within the outer aura. And then we're planting trees back with 16 total, so we're replanting those trees at a 2-to-1 ratio. So those are the major changes that have been made to our plan, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the rest of the project.
Great, thank you. I very much appreciate the decrease in the number of trees being removed, so thank you very much. And I also very much appreciate that you all have listened to our comments and decreased sizes of decks and things as well. So having said that, I'll open it to the commissioners. Anything you want to say? Questions? Problems? Bob?
Yeah, I'd like to echo those remarks. Thank you very much for listening and making those adjustments, saving the trees and reducing the size of the structure and the whole thing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Other than that, I don't have anything right now.
Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead, Elise.
It's the same echo, A plus, for both of you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Janet.
And she has questions.
Okay, I don't want to add, I mean, thank you, it was great. But, no, I have a couple of quick questions. So it says the limit of work line was moved off the property? Is that,
Off the eastern line.
so is it on an adjacent property? Where is it?
No, I'm sorry.
So you moved it in?
We're moved into the property.
In,
Sorry.
okay, and is that the little loopy, squirrely, kind of very faint line? It's not marked, so I was struggling to find.
It's the darker line that is
Yeah,
the
that-
cursor's running over it right now, a darker dashed line.
Which one, let me see?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Yep.
So it's the one with the X and dash?
That's
X-
correct. Yes.
That's it there, so you've pulled it in, okay. Okay. So thank you for adding 3 white oaks. I know you listened when I said that, I have a thing about people topping oaks and then replacing them with shrubs, and it feels like they win the game at the end of the day. So thank you for the white oaks. What is a Taylor Eastern Red Cedar?
So the Taylor Eastern Red Cedar it's a cultivar. It is a cedar, so it's not a hybrid. It is an Eastern Red Cedar, so it's Juniperus virginiana, but it's a cedar that it grows naturally, not as wide as a regular, it's a more narrow species, a more narrow cultivar of the species, the Juniperus virginiana. So it's not a hybrid, it's still a native species. It is not grown from seed, however, it is cloned, so there is this cultivar was discovered in the wild and then has been cloned to continue that particular character. So it does, and that is proposed along the western property line. It's a very narrow, it's already.
Works well for screening in
It
that
works well for
narrow,
really screening in that narrow area, yes, and we're only proposing those outside of the 50.
and it's outside of the 50?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So even if those of us who are inclined to say ugh to any kind of cultivar, you're
Yes.
still okay with your proportions?
We are
your
still okay with our
ratios, so
proportions,
we don't have to
exactly,
worry.
yes.
Okay, that's what I
Yes.
was trying to work that out, and I decided to ask instead of trying to figure it out.
Yes,
And you
and the-
removed the pitch pines that were going to go in?
I think we replaced those with the oaks.
yes,
Okay.
that's what I
Okay.
saw.
Okay. I will not argue with that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anybody have anything else? Okay, I think we probably can go to an order, because you did listen, thank you. How about, I don't know, April 22nd or May 13th? Yeah, what is your timeline? Because I'd prefer May
I
13th.
don't know.
May?
May 13th, please.
Okay.
See, we're still listening. Lock that down. When we need it next time we're here.
We, only because there's a few people, including myself, who are away quite a bit coming up.
I move that we continue 101 Uncle Dean's Road to the meeting on May 13th, 2026 for an order of conditions.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The next, Bradford, please.
Next up is a notice of intent for 12 Clark Meadows Way, Jatin and Anna Patel, map 5B, parcel 19C-13C, SE 10-3769. This is for construction of an addition to an existing dwelling, deck, patio, stairs, and hot tub. This is a new application.
How are you?
Afternoon, I'm Paul Shea with Independent Environmental Consultants. I'm here with Lila Warner. She is the project architect for the project and designed most of the plans. We filed a notice of intent for this application. We've had some correspondence back and forth through the commission. I met with Brad this morning to talk about the issue of the coastal bank on the front of the property, which is directly adjacent to the roadway. And we're agreeing to put that onto the plan. What I flagged last October was I've got a salt marsh and I've got a top of vegetated coastal bank stable on the other side of the road. A little unusual that it drops down in elevation into the road, topography, crosses over, and then comes back up onto the other side. There is all grass lawn in the front of this property towards the road, and that's what was defined, I guess, close to the road, just a couple of feet off the road, as a coastal bank in the past. So we will be submitting a revised site plan for it, but we covered some other ground while we met this morning. The proposed project, we already have a DEP file number. It's 10-3769. And the property owners are the Patels, and what they want to do is to do some home improvements at the property. Probably the biggest thing is right in the middle of the property or the existing house. They want to put on a proposed addition. It's roughly around 300 square feet of alterations for a new dining room. They also want to put in a hot tub, which I believe this site plan has been approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals. And they are putting in a upper raised deck onto the property, so really the only alterations are square inches of the pilings going in. And another section of deck along that eastern side of the house. I guess that would be the southeast corner. At the very back of the property, I guess at the back of the house, there's also a section of proposed stairs, and it's going towards the paved driveway within the property. The project we are in riverfront area. There's Cockle Cove Creek is a perennial river, so we've shown the 100-foot inner riparian zone and the 100-foot outer riparian zone. There's also a FEMA flood zone elevation with this project, and we've shown the flood zone as it goes through the property. It's an AE zone. And we have the 100-foot inner riparian zone and 100-foot outer riparian zone shown on the site plan. The way the project was originally proposed, showing just the bank across the street, we were technically outside of the 50-foot buffer zone. With the adjusted plan we'll be given is that we are going to have some alterations from where that coastal bank is next to the road. We will be asking for a variance for some of the work in the 50-foot buffer zone. So I'd looked at this plan last night, and the original house on the property was taken down when the house that's there today was constructed. I believe that's part of the 1999 plan. And at that point there, they were showing 50-foot and 100-foot buffer zones. So what I talked with Brad this morning is, look, we will end up having some alterations in this 50-foot buffer zone just because of where this feature is, literally right at the edge of the road in the front of the property. So I talked with Lila this afternoon, and we talked about some potential changes to the site to move things outside of the 50-foot buffer zone where we intend on showing the revised 50 and 100-foot. It really doesn't matter, in terms of the 100-foot riverbank wetland where we're citing things, but we will be probably trying to find a new site for the proposed hot tub, which is right now at the northeast corner of the house. And I think the proposed balcony on the second floor, even though it's in the southeast corner of the house, will probably be staying where it is. But the biggest thing is trying to find a possible new location for the hot tub, and to come up with additional mitigation plantings. We have actually lots of room in the northern section of the property for additional plantings, and also in the eastern, especially the southeastern corner of the property, which puts our plantings literally, right at the edge of the road, and to offer them, it's going to be within an area of protection, but, we will be offering to get rid of lawn area, which some of the South Shore Conservation Commissions call green asphalt, and to try to get rid of that and to try to get more, productive plantings that will grow within this environment that clearly gets dosed with a lot of salt water and so forth. A little bit of an unusual house that if you look at the floodplain map of this area, it seems like every other house is in the floodplain. This one is magically raised above it. So that was one thing that we really didn't have to be concerned with. So at this point, I'm going to see if Lila wants to come up and talk about the design issues and some of the things we have to change. But we clearly see that that's probably the way to go forward with this, and to see if we can get the revised plan and the revised, one thing that Brad wanted us to take a look at is the chart that we have for the proposed alterations and, impacts to the ground and mitigation to make sure all the numbers jive. So we'll probably work on that this week to make sure we have that ready, and we'll be dealing with the surveyor and engineer to try to update the site plan. So if you have any questions for me, I'm here, and but it's Lila's project in terms of designing and whatever, so it may be worth it to listen to what she has to say. She's been dealing with this project a lot longer than I have. So
Bob has a question, so I'll let him go first.
Hi, how are you?
good, how you doing?
Good. On the eastern end, by Cockle Cove Road, where a lot of the mitigation's going to go, I noticed a lot of invasive vines and so forth in that area, and there's a dead cedar tree in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be tackling that, all those invasive vines and so forth?
Yeah, I think we could talk with the property owner about it. That would just be cleaning up that
I mean,
section.
that could be part of the mitigation as well.
Yeah.
If you have to expand the mitigation, that could be part of it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I follow on from that?
Yeah,
So that's a good point, and if you're going to expand that mitigation to pick up the compensation for moving the top of the bank line, are you going to retain a landscape restoration company or somebody like that to do the plan and the installation and the monitoring of all of this vegetation? We usually have somebody who's in charge of that aspect.
My guess is down the line, the answer is yes to that. I don't think they're on board right now.
Okay, we'll keep that in our minds, but there will be somebody who will be
Yes.
tasked under the order of conditions with going through, doing all of that.
Correct.
Okay. Very glad to hear that you had this very positive conversation with Bradford, because it was very confusing to me to figure out how this bank ended up stopping at the road and not continuing up on the landward side, so happy to hear that. can you also make sure now, you stake the 50 and 100-foot lines on site? They were not
Okay.
staked. I assume that the pink ties and the vegetation across the road was the original top of the bank?
The original top of bank, the vegetated bank, yes.
That part of that bank.
Right.
So when the bank on the landward side of the road is delineated, we'll need that staked as well. So
Okay.
the bank, the 50, the 100, and that way it'll make more sense walking around. Thank you.
And maybe to tag on to that, more specific on the staking, because they all seem to say WDK or
Yeah, what does that mean?
And I don't know what that means,
I
but
couldn't figure that
usually
out
we
either.
will see addition, deck, patio, whatever, stairs. We see where they're going so that we can look at the site plan and we can stand and see the stakes and actually see it in real life, what's on paper. And right now, there's nothing explaining any of those. I think there was one set that said addition to the back of the house. So just so you know, that's not the way, we usually have different colors for different, delineation. The 50 has a different color than the 100, the coastal, all of that is usually included. So we can get a visual of what is going where and how it's going to look.
Yeah, we can talk with the surveyor about that.
Yeah, I don't know who you had surveyed, but it's obviously not somebody who's done it for us before.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to tag
That's
that.
good.
Sorry.
No, my
ahead.
last point, if you're going to be looking around for additional potential mitigation, even though it's outside, technically, and maybe not out of, when the 100 moves, that paved driveway area in the back, what function does that serve? Just additional parking? There's a substantial driveway on the other side. And there's this weird asphalt.
Yep.
Yeah.
I walked around and said, didn't expect to see that there. Is that parking?
I think she's going to have a better answer for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just additional
Could
parking.
you first identify yourself?
So I'm Lila Warner. I'm the architect on the project.
Okay, hi. You might want to think about making it into a more pervious material if
And I
you're
talked to
doing
them about
that.
that, and they're willing to do that. if-
Okay, because that asphalt in that location is really unhelpful, to put
Yeah,
it
so-
mildly. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Paul?
Yeah, I have one question. I think you addressed this when you said you were going to redo the site plan. This is in terms of numbers. It says on here that the existing square footage within the 50 to 100 is 825, and the proposed is 794. But you're adding 794 to the 825. So it's really a new proposal of 1619.
Yeah, usually,
I'm going to let him answer that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not me.
we just want to make sure that you understand how our coverage tables usually work.
And so what that does is, with the total areas of structures on hardscape, it's now a total proposal of a little over 2,300 square feet.
Which is, I think, what approximately what I had. I think on the original chart, and we can change it, shows that we were going to be doing about 2,000 square feet of alterations.
Mitigation.
Right. And then we were proposing for mitigation to be in the ballpark of 4,000.
Right, and that,
Well, see, that's the problem. It's hard to tell.
Right.
Because you have 2,000, 4,000, 4,000 for mitigation.
Correct.
And I'm not sure, because 2,000, it to me seems the total is 6,000, not 4,000.
Right.
That type of thing. But I'm going to let Paul continue, because he came up with all this,
it's just a little hard to follow, that's all.
Electronic version.
We could straighten that out.
Isn't that weird?
Thank you.
So the existing will be what's now. Proposed will be what's existing and what you're proposing added together. And the change will be proposed minus existing, so it's a negative or positive number. If it were less than the existing, it would be a negative number. If it's greater than, it would be a positive. And then your mitigation, you have to do based off of those numbers.
Okay. And I'm presuming on mitigation, we're talking ratio of 2 to 1.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it depends, but,
It's 2 to 1 if it's within the 50. It's
Yeah,
1 to
with-
1, 50 to 100.
and
Okay.
so, yeah. And then, could we get an official planting plan, not a mimeograph with you just adding it in? This isn't showing, it's, usually we have something that's more like the site plan, and it would be helpful. And the size of what you're putting in. So Bayberry, you're saying 14, what size is the, going in? We like to see that. What else?
Can I jump in here with?
Yes,
a request? So we're sitting here a little bit confused because we have the digital version of all of these plans, and these guys
Yeah.
over here have the paper version. And I just realized now, the reason I never saw a lot of this is that the digital version is cut off. It's only the bottom part of these. We don't have the coverage calculations or any of that stuff on ours. So when you email in the digital, just can you double check that it's got everything
Okay.
on it?
We also need, for the outer aura, the percentage of the outer aura that's going to be covered with hardscape.
Thank you.
We have a maximum of 35%, so we need that given to us. And then I just had one more thing, and it's gone out of my mind.
It's like a scanned version of another part.
Shoot, I can't remember. It's not coming to me. So, oh well. Oh, hot tubs. They are not pervious, just so you know. They're not considered pervious at all. They are impervious.
Yeah.
I treated it that way in terms of the,
Maybe that's
square footage for what we had to mitigate for.
Right, well, I'm going by that you said,
We just meant what it's sitting on. So it's not going to be like typically, you'd have a 12-inch deep concrete base footing for it.
but it's on top of it, and water can't go through the hot tub and down into the ground. That's what I'm saying, it's like a pool.
Right, yes.
So I'd appreciate if you didn't call it impervious. I mean, if you didn't call it pervious, you called it impervious, and included it in your calculations, because I appreciate that it's on stone, but still,
It's got an impervious bottom.
yeah.
So
It's,
it's not, it's partly in ground and partly above ground, is that?
No, the deck would be built around it,
Oh,
so,
it's in the deck, and the deck is raised?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So the bottom of the tub sits on top of a stone bed?
Mm-hmm.
And the top of the tub, is it flush with the deck?
It
Ish.
rises about like 4 inches.
Okay, got it. I was just trying
Yeah.
to think of how that was
so
configured.
it is impervious.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And
well,
it should be included in the calculations for impervious.
Yep.
Actually, I think I did that. I think
Okay.
The total for the hot tub, if I recall, was 88 square feet, and that's the number.
I'm just going by what the note you had on your site plan said it was pervious. So you either have to just fix the note or,
Okay.
make sure it's included. I'd appreciate it. Anybody, anything else?
Can I state a couple things, just so you know?
Absolutely.
Like, kind of how we tried to make this as minimal impact as possible? 'cause,
Sure, go for it.
like, I feel like that'll be important. Is this where's the laser? Do you have one? Because I just want to point to the site plan. They have them at ZBA meeting.
Yeah, but this is-
There was,
That's- If you can just pull up the site plan and then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so like Paul had said, prior to 1999, there was an existing house here. So there's a significant amount of this land in this, I guess now 50 to 100, now with the coastal bank discrepancy, that's disturbed, right? It's not undisturbed land. So I just want to reiterate that part. In terms of the minimal footprint that we tried to do on the property. So right here is that's current house footprint, and we're extending deck. So we are going to make a second floor deck in order to ask for less out here. So we're doing, because they want to have some outdoor space. They have none on this property. They have a little 8x12 deck that's actually, I'm sure you saw, but it's shared with their front door. And that's the only door they have to the outside, with the exception of their garage man door. So they squeeze a table on there, but they can't really be outside sitting on ground that isn't level. So anyway, I just want to reiterate that within the existing footprint of the house plus the existing footprint of the deck, we're maximizing that second floor space so that we weren't asking for as much on the ground. Then for the deck that we have out here, we're basically just sized it. It's 6 feet deep. So we're sizing it so that we can put a couple chairs there, single row, and someone can still walk in front of you. So we're really trying to minimize how far we're going out with that. And then then obviously the proposed patio, I guess, speaks for itself. But Paul had mentioned, if we have to move the hot tub location, I want to try to see if we can come to an agreement, and you tell me if our preference is to not move it, but to limit there is a catwalk around it currently. And what I'd like to do for first round is just eliminate that catwalk. So we could be 4 feet back from what we're proposing for that bump out. So there's no more, the only thing that bumps out really is just a little piece of that hot tub from here.
Well, then why don't you move the hot tub back enough that it doesn't bump out at all? I mean, what's the use
We
in?
could, it's just like the framing situation, but it would bump out minimally. If having it not bump out from the steps that come down would be the only acceptable way, then we could make that work.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the steps, so.
I don't know if you want to pull up if you pull up the architecturals, there's the 3Ds.
Well,
Okay.
we don't do the architecturals. We
Okay.
go by site plans.
Okay.
And usually everything's on the site plan. I mean, I appreciate that it might be on the, and I appreciated seeing what it's going to all look like and how it's going to look going up and everything. We only deal pretty
No
much with
problem,
site
yeah.
plans, landscape plans, things like that.
Okay.
So it does need to be on the plan.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know where the steps are going right now.
Well, this is the proposed deck, and that outer line is, it's 2 steps down. So that outer line indicates the end of the steps. That
Oh.
dashed line right here. I don't have
Okay.
a steady enough hand to, but,
Okay.
so we
Yeah,
can
if you
have it
could
all-
add those to the
Sure.
plan, since you're redoing the plan anyway.
Yeah, I will have the surveyor do that. Yep.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yeah, go. Bradford, I was like, who's trying to chime in? April Fools.
While I was reviewing those architectural plans, I noticed that there was a in-place like outdoor kitchen or grill or something on this patio. That should also be on the plans.
Oh,
Yeah, I apologize. I was told we didn't need it for ZBA, and I didn't realize they did need it for conservation.
yeah, what
Still
we
for conservation.
need is to see everything that is happening on this site plan but we look at flat. We don't look at going up.
Okay.
We don't have any jurisdiction of, as it goes up, we have, our jurisdiction is the outlines
Yeah, well,
and what's going on them,
I'll tell them to put that on there.
okay?
Put in the fire pit too.
That's probably just going to be a freestanding piece.
Oh, okay,
So,
good, thank you.
yeah. Yeah,
Anything else?
no, not for me.
Okay, one thing I just thought of, and I went back through the package, I don't see a work protocol or construction protocol or anything that tells us how, we usually get, and you checked off that we have it, but I don't see it.
Can you explain what that,
Well, it's the plan for how the work will be taking place, the construction, the work.
Access.
Yeah,
Access.
the access, some- Okay, because you did check it off, but I couldn't find it, and I just went back through, and so did Paul, so I think it's missing. Anything else, anybody? If not, then we're going to have to continue this, obviously. Where's my list? Here it is. We're asking for quite a bit. April 22nd, May 13th, May 27th. I can go into June, but I assume you don't want to.
what works for you?
Maybe we should shoot for May 13th.
Okay,
Just give Dave a little time.
okay.
I think May 13th.
Okay. Then May 13th it is.
I move that we continue 12 Clark Meadows Way to the meeting on May 13th, 2026.
Second,
Elise,
aye.
Janet,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and I say aye. So we'll see you May 13th. Thank you. Okay, next, Bradford, please.
Up next is a notice of intent for 357 Stony Hill Road, John Hernandez, map 14I, parcel 2B-25B, SE 10-3765. This is for a proposed swimming pool. The applicant has requested a continuance to May 13th, 2026.
Thank you.
I move that we continue 357 Stony Hill Road to the meeting on May 13th, 2026.
Second.
Elise.
Aye.
Janet. Aye. Paul.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
And I say aye. Next, please.
Next up is a certificate of compliance for 42 Old Harbor Lane, Peter Harris, map I, parcel 20-MD2, SE 10-2378. This was for ongoing maintenance of projects permitted under SE 10-2016, including annual beach nourishment.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Twice in one day.
I know, you were before us for so
bookending us
long, and
today.
now, 2 meetings in a row.
All right, so for the record,
We're on a
Bob
roll.
Eldridge, East Southeast. There were a couple of open orders on this one, and this is one that we're reviewing today. It was an old one. So there was a few things that were not stated to be ongoing conditions that we're requesting to be ongoing conditions. The beach nourishment, with the sand that's been deposited at Linnell Beach that's making its way down the Old Harbor, there's really no need for beach nourishment right now, but we kind of want a placeholder for when things change. We have ongoing control of invasive species, everybody likes that. Maintenance of the 4-foot wide pathways, maintenance of the stairs to the beach. I don't know where the wooden jetty is, it's buried, as far as I can tell, so
I
can't
found
maintain it if you can't.
one tiny little portion of it sticking out, but
Okay.
the rest of it's buried.
Excellent, so it's there still. Obviously, nothing needs to be maintained while it's buried. maintenance of trees for view, that was all part of this order. And then we do have the other three that are just how to get the work done. If the commission would be so kind as to add these to the certificate of compliance, it would be appreciated. We don't have to come back with another order.
So what are we adding to this COC?
We provided what was in the order of conditions.
Right.
For what,
So you want to have what you highlighted in yellow added to the ongoing conditions?
it was,
It was no permanent irrigation or any temporary irrigation removed prior to COC request, a list of ongoing conditions from the order. Well, those don't seem like what you're asking for.
no, we provided a list,
Yeah.
another page, and that's what we fished out of the order of conditions that,
Oh, yes.
under the current order of conditions, you would
Mm-hmm.
call those out as ongoing, but under the old order of conditions, they were just called out.
Right, the annual beach nourishment, ongoing control of invasive species, maintenance of a 4-foot wide pathways, stairs to the beach. That is what you want in there, and which is fine, I think. Does
And-
anybody have anything?
If we want to be technical, that's not a jetty, that's a groin.
Yeah,
Just jetties are alongside a channel and groins are just alongside
Right.
the beach. But
all right. Crystal could change that wording.
Can I just ask about the view corridor and the view pruning and maintenance of that? So on the plan that you've attached, in light brown, selected trees to be shaped and light pruned, there's only one, number 31, and I don't know what that tree is because it's not identified there. Unless 29 and 33 also fall into that, but otherwise I don't see, where is the view corridor and what, oh, I see up in here too, 79, 80, okay, they're all over there. Okay. Light shaping, So will this plan continue, once we issue this, will this plan go away? Well, how will anybody know in the future which trees are allowed to be shaped and pruned?
we should probably add the view corridor to the plans that,
Since you've got an OI in front of us, why don't we add the view corridor to that? And then we can make sure that that's all going forward, that's carried. Okay. Because otherwise, I think you would lose it and you would never know.
should we amend that filing to include view corridor and not worry about it for this, or?
I
think that would probably be
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, make it part of that.
Then it would be
part of
very
that order.
clean, so that's a good idea. Thank you. All right, so I think we could approve this and and Crystal, take out the view corridor part and you'll add it to the filing that we didn't hear today.
And we can even leave it in here, just saying the view corridor will be taken care of.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
That's better, Crystal.
It gives some
Just
sort
a reference to it. so-
Yeah, that's better. So just say it will be included in whatever the SE number is for the one today. I don't have it right in front of me. I know you gave it to us. Oh, 3768. All right, I think we could have a motion
I
to,
move that we approve the certificate of compliance for 42 Old Harbor Lane as modified.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, next, Bradford.
Next up is a discussion for 97 Tulipy Run and possible issuance of violation. We do have Dan from Ty and Bond present and Patrick Bowden.
I see that you're on. Thank you, Dan, for coming on.
Good afternoon, Commission.
And I see Patrick's on as well, I think.
I am, yes.
Okay. So I know you just received And I'm sorry, I apologize because I thought it had gone out sooner, but they just received the 2 reports from Catherine and, is it Brian? I think I remember, yeah. Last week, or this week, maybe it was early this week, but I think it was last. And I know that you've asked to be given some extra time. For me, what I want to know is, do you have any feeling for whether any of these options would actually be done, or are we just pushing off dealing with this?
I think at this point, we received the letters and appreciate, the town and the county putting that together for us. We've read through them. I think responding in any formal manner at this point was, I think, a little preemptive. So we didn't put together anything for you guys because
Right.
we want to see what the commission has to say and understand what the expectations are. I guess I'd love to hear what the commission is exactly looking for. I know there was discussion of potentially additional plantings and some erosion control matting. There was discussion of nourishment in there, but we're already required to do nourishment with our already approved permits, so I didn't really understand that one. So I think just getting input from the commission and understanding really what we're looking for will help guide our response at this point.
Well, I'll start it. I think both, for me, both, everything that was offered in both of the reports are, I think, I would approve either of those, any of them. I'd like to hear other commissioners what their thoughts are, if they have any.
Could I just ask you to be specific with exactly what you mean when you say all of them, or exactly what you mean?
Okay, I thought you read, I guess maybe you haven't read them, or didn't note. There were things like, there was fiber rolls. There was additional vegetation in that area when you're looking down at the patio to the left, adding plantings. All of these things would be considered things that would protect that area while allowing you to keep that patio that is in violation where it is. We understand that they're heavy, you can't get the machinery in, and I also, from the time that a few of us were at the site with all of you and the owner, he was not going to consider that anyway. And we never proposed that as a solution at this point. So, it's mostly fiber rolls and vegetation, but I'll let everybody else speak a little bit to what they think. Elise, I do have the email you sent me quite a while ago.
Yes, I don't really.
Do you want me to read what you said?
Sure.
I figured you maybe. She said, I believe that the installation of the 250-square-foot patio instead of the steps as approved creates enough potential risk from both a significant storm causing overtopping and rainfall causing runoff that we should institute the conditions that Catherine Ricks suggests. Specifically, install erosion control matting around the patio edges, cover matting with sand, and plant beach grass to further slow erosion. Place an erosion control blanket over the unvegetated area to the north of the patio. Plant beach grass and/or other native coastal grasses to stabilize the sand. And require that the sand washed out due to high tide events, stormwater runoff, and storms be replaced every spring. Do you like what you said?
I couldn't say it better myself.
Oh, good. So that's one opinion. Anybody else?
I think it's acceptable. I mean, there is some exposed areas around that patio. There are some exposed areas. So I'd like to see some blanket, erosion control blanket or matting around that patio, plus vegetation. And I think that would calm things down there and prevent any erosion, especially if you had major waves coming in. So that's what I would say. I don't think it's a very high price to pay for that alteration.
Exactly.
Thank
I think
you.
they've come up with some very, very much less expensive.
Yes, I congratulate the people who
options.
brought these options out, and I mean, personally, I was opposed from the beginning, putting, impervious hardscape at the very top of a steep bank strikes me as a terrible idea to start with. But I could be persuaded to approve a settlement along those lines that addresses all of the potential erosion risks that patio poses, the plantings, the erosion control blankets, all of that, and the ongoing conditions. So I could support that.
All right. Do you have questions for us? Based off of what we've said, Paul, do you want to add anything before we?
No,
go to
I
them?
agree. I agree with everything I've heard.
Okay, so Daniel or Patrick, do you have anything you want to ask us?
I think at this point, I don't have anything to ask. I appreciate the input. That's helpful, and the clarification is also helpful, so we can plan accordingly moving forward. I would ask that we get like about a month at least. I'd look like I would hope to be on the May 13th meeting. I think that you said that was their next meeting.
Well, no, we have April 22nd, which for us is preferable, but if we have to, I'm not sure what can't be decided in the next few weeks, that another 3 weeks or almost 3 weeks additional needs to be given, but
I guess coordinating with the applicant can be fairly time consuming, so I would ask that you give us until May 13th, and if we can do it sooner, we will let you know. But without having him right here to say yay or nay, I prefer to have the extra time so we can respond.
okay, so on May 13th, hopefully you will be coming with a solution, or we will be issuing the violation.
Understood.
Okay, and hopefully the homeowner is happy with one of those, because I think that it's I think they're both very fair and economically feasible solutions as,
Yeah, I think the only question I have is on the nourishment. We're already required to nourish under our existing permits. That's part of our natural heritage approval. I believe it's in
Right.
the ordinance already. So I guess I would just ask that that not be part of the solution because it's
well,
already.
you're
part
going
of
to
the solution.
propose the solution, so you
I don't want
propose
you to
what
be
you're
expecting it,
willing
I'll
to
say
do, okay?
I don't want you to be expecting it then. I will.
No, you propose what you're willing to do, and we'll go from there. And I appreciate you joining the meeting today, and I am very sorry that, we've had lots of people out and all different things, and we thought you had received the reports earlier than you had. So I deeply apologize for that.
Sorry. It was a challenging winter and crazy.
Exactly.
Late winter down
And
there. I get
yes.
it, believe me.
So, but we're moving forward, and we'll see you May 13th, and hopefully maybe earlier.
Okay. Yeah, we'll let you know if it could be earlier, but that'll at least give us some buffer if not.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And we
Take care.
don't need a motion or anything for that, because it was just a discussion to get things moving. All right. Bradford, the next, please.
Next up is approval of minutes. We have a couple different hearings to approve. Do you want me to take them one by one?
We're going to have to, given that various people were out
Yep.
for various meetings. So actually, even because Janet and Lise were out on January 28th, and there's only 3 of us here, can we even approve them?
don't think
Or
so.
do we, I think we need Eric, because we
think
have to have a majority, and a majority is
We can't
four.
do January 28th, but we could do the other two.
Yeah, let's do the other two and then put, well, we'll be in the same situation on April 8th. So put January 28th on to April 22nd.
Okay.
Can we make, sorry, can we make edits to January 28th? or not?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that and then go forward.
Okay.
Okay, for fifth, could I start?
Yeah.
Okay, for 552 Shore Road. The fourth to last sentence, something like that, in the middle, it says Aris instead of Eric. Just remove the E.
Oh. Thank you, I did not catch that. Okay.
And then 650 Orleans Road. Cesspool is one word, first sentence.
It is one word. Oh, it's one on mine.
Oh,
Oh, there it is, down there, it's repeated, okay.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And then, let's see, 61 and 63, don't let me say that. Let's see.
Elephants,
Yeah, whatever.
whatever.
It's, let's see, aggregate is spelled wrong.
I wondered, but I couldn't find,
If you continue on to the last segment of that, 61 and 63, the last sentence. Yeah.
that's what I thought it should be, but then I,
And then 14 Main Street, the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Topsoil is one word, the last sentence.
Yep, add some topsoil. Yep.
And then, that's all I had, thanks.
perfect. Well, now they'll be ready for April 22nd. That'll be a fast one. Unless Eric has anything, probably not. Okay, so do we have to move to continue it to April 22nd? I don't think so.
We can table it until.
Yeah, we've tabled it. We could move to table it. Maybe we should to be formal.
I move that we table the approval of the minutes from January 28th, 2026
To when?
To April
to
22nd.
April 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Okay. Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay. The next one is...
Next are minutes from February 11th, 2026.
Okay. Everybody was here, so we can do this one. And does anybody have any modifications, additions, anything? No?
I move that we approve the minutes from February 11th, 2026.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye. Next, I'm sorry.
No worries. Next are approval of minutes from March 4th, 2026. Don't believe Bob was present.
You're right, Bob's the only one who was not present for that one, so we're good, we can vote on it. All right, anybody have any modifications, additions, corrections for March 4th? I went through them, I can't remember if I did anything or not. But I think I did. But anyway, anybody else have anything that they found? Doesn't sound like it.
No.
All right,
I move that we approve the minutes from March 4th, 2026.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Abstain.
And I approve, I say yes too. Whatever. All right,
We're done.
we are done. We need one more.
I move that we adjourn the hearing.
Second.
Elise?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I say aye.